Ooh, I know what I can get. Come on. Come on, Lowell. What am I trying to do here? I don't know if that was sitting there. So I'm just doing my weekly update for the garden. Posted a video yesterday. I finally was able to harvest basil from one of my beds. Looks a little sad, but there's a lot of new growth that's already happening, so I'm gonna flip my camera around here. Good morning. Happy Friday to everyone. So just showing off my garden. Something new I'm doing, just providing some updates on how things are going. Share any challenges I've run into. But this is all in my backyard. I live on a less than a third of an acre. I have 9 chickens back here. I have a little greenhouse, storage shed, keep some of my gardening equipment in there. And then this here measures, I believe it's 40 feet by 30 feet. And there are 18 3x6 beds that I built. Awesome. Yeah, we had 10 chickens, but one was a rooster, so that could not stay. And then I have 7 of these galvanized bins, along with several grow bags along the fence. And then I've also built these 1x6 beds here. I have 5 of these. But yeah, everything's coming in nicely. We had some good rain this past week, so everything's very lush, very green. I do have some romaine lettuce here that I need to be harvesting. I don't know if I'll plant something more lettuce in this bed. I think I might switch to growing hydroponically, but and then also too, I think I may plant them a little too close together. But the heads are pretty decent, and these are really healthy, so I'm not complaining. Again, this is roughly 60 60 heads of romaine lettuce that I'm growing. And I'm fortunate enough where I don't have any issues with any type of pests or rodents, birds. The only problem I have is fire ants. So I know that's not the case for everyone that do garden, but like I said, it's never been an issue as long as I've gardened in my, my backyard. So yeah, I hope to get more chickens. I just don't know if I have the space. So that little coop behind me is a kit from Over Easy, and it's I'll turn the camera around. This is, I guess, to consider their large size coop, but this holds up to 15 chickens. And I don't want anybody trying to escape, so I'm gonna close this up. But this has worked. The only thing I would do differently is probably have something that's gonna be bigger in order to allow to walk in and out comfortably. I definitely want different egg boxes so that when the chickens do lay their eggs, they will, I guess they have like these roller boxes so that the eggs will stay clean, because they tend to get a little bit dirty depending on if it's a rainy day. But I water everything by hand. I would love a watering system, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm always changing my mind, so I imagine whatever I put down as a watering system, I would need to move around. So I don't mind. But let me know if you have any questions. I love to share what has worked, what hasn't worked for my garden. You know, I've been living here probably for over 15 years, but this garden wasn't like this last fall. In fact, actually, there were only 12 beds in here, and over the winter season, I shifted everything over, had to take everything out of my beds, and basically just made them closer so that I can add the additional raised beds, which were, I think, was that 6 more plus the beds in the back. But I'll show you here again. I don't know if you see this little guy here chilling on my onion, but something's been slowly eating at some of the leaves on the onion. And I would probably say maybe 98% everything in the garden is grown from seeds. I have a bunch of flowers along the fence on the backside for pollinators. fruit trees in the yard, like 4 or 5 fruit trees around my fence. Put this camera here for a second. Okay, that might work. So, the only thing that I do in my garden really like regularly is just maintaining like these cucumbers here. I have to trellis these guys like every day. One thing that I'll have to figure out is this is only so tall. I think I was like maybe 5 feet tall. So eventually I'm gonna run out of room for it to grow up. So I don't know if I just need to, trellis it back down, or I might even try to like clone, and then maybe once these are too tall and maybe not producing as much, plant new ones so that I can continue, growing cucumbers rather than tapping out once it gets to the top. But there's minimum maintenance other than weeding, pruning. I'll show you this cucumbers. Used to buy these things like, we buy them like crazy at the grocery store, but these here are called Katrina cucumbers. Let's see if I can find one that's a little bit bigger. Here we go. So you can see this little guy here. That's probably as big as I probably wanted. I probably will be harvesting this over the weekend. But this is if you are aware, like the slicing cucumbers, the longer variety, this is just the mini version of it that I wanted to grow. And then these my zinnias are starting to open up. A number of them have blooms. Sweet potato is starting to do his thing. What is this? That can't be a weed, no. I have all the cilantro here that I need to cut. More basil there, parsley. And again, gardening is not all perfect. Here are my snack-sized bell peppers, and I couldn't tell you why this guy decided to fade as well as that one, but everything else in the bed is thriving. Same thing over here with my okra. 1 out of the 18 decided to not hang in there. But I believe once my garlic, which I'll probably be harvesting, I'll definitely be harvesting next month, I will be probably planting green beans in these back beds here. And then check out all the celery that I have. Again, growing in really healthy, super easy to grow. I did buy these plants from the store just because I had a late start with starting my seeds. So if you don't have time to start everything from seeds, it's okay to get plants. And again, I have some tomato plants for the most part, that are doing well, but then you have a guy like this here that I'll have to take out because it's not doing too hot. But funny enough, this is a wild flower bed here. There's this rogue tomato plant that is growing. So the cool thing about gardening, everything just kind of finds its own way. Carrots. There are no any kind of caterpillars that I see eating at it. Sunflowers coming in strong. These here are all radishes. And then you have the lone radish that's growing here, and I'm pretty sure I planted the same amount. But again, this happens sometimes with gardening, and it's okay. And this, for example, here is me thinking I'd spread my seeds out evenly, and then when I water, only for them to wash down and all be in the backside of the grow bag. And then these are my eucalyptus. These are silver dollar eucalyptus that I grew from seeds. They start very tiny, but then once I transplanted, these things start taking off. And they get really big if you allow it to continue to grow. I'm assuming I'll probably have to, obviously prune it, but again, look at this. These are all planted at the same time. This is super tiny compared to some of these other plants in here. But more than likely what I'll end up doing is, at least for my lettuce, I will harvest them, probably just set them out for anyone that would be interested in taking any. Same thing with the herbs that I have back here, the cilantro, parsley. You got to keep it cut if you don't want it to bolt. So I'm going to definitely cut that back. And then once I remove all this lettuce here, I plan on, I'll probably put corn there, more corn. Why not? Again, I'm not gonna keep lettuce in that bed. As it gets warmer, lettuce is just not gonna do well. It wanna flower before you can even harvest any leaves, and they tend to taste bitter if you once they get too big. So the only other thing I wanted to point out over here, I do have some. Where is it at? These marigolds are insane. I have squash, and then on this back side here, you can see that it's like a baby zucchini that's showing up. Yeah, that's just a quick update on everything going on in the garden. The weekend's gonna be a little bit cooler, but I'm hoping to get out on the water, be able to enjoy the beach, maybe do a little bit of fishing. But do me a favor, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you know anyone that like fishing, boating, and gardening, please share. And I appreciate everyone that stopped by this morning, and I hope everyone have a great weekend and happy Mother's Day come this Sunday. Peace.